Welcome to the second episode of The Bird Herd, presented by Redbird Esports. Today you have Terry Kaufman again, also known as Gigatron, as well as Max Martin, Saxy Maxi. Today we are talking with our head mod of Redbird Esports Discord server, Sam McCoy. How you doing, Sam?
I'm doing good. How are you, Terry?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good to have you on.
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
All right. So I had actually made up some questions. Just, so I'm just curious just to see exactly what happened, like what your day-to-day looks like in the Discord.
Let's see. My day-to-day in the Discord is, well, usually I wake up, hop on my computer, like most people with this online learning. And the main thing we're doing now is getting people verified in the server. So we've basically adapted multiple ways to where we can figure out if they're an ISU student, they're an alumni, they're a prospect, and then we get them their specific roles, and then that's how they can like interact with others on the Discord. Well, we've finally got it down to where we have a bot that does most of the work with very little interaction. So now it's mainly just us trying to make sure everyone's having a good time, no one's being disrespectful, rude, or anything.
Yeah, obviously when you hear the word moderator in, the video game community, you think, oh, some guy that's just sitting there making sure that everybody is behaving and whatnot. But I figured that there's a lot of behind the scenes work that you have put in. Do you get all the notifications for like every channel?
I do. I get every single notification that happens on the server. I can see almost every single channel on the server. So it's if you see my Discord, it's about like 400 channels.
Oh my God.
So it's a
is
lot,
that
yeah.
brutal? Is that just like...
Oh, it's very brutal.
Yeah, I'm sure that there's a way to like...
Well, most of them I have like the categories like folded down, so it just shows me a message if like someone new like types it in. So I've gotten used to it. I think at the beginning it was pretty rough, but it's going pretty good now.
Yeah, I've in like maybe 6 Discord servers, and like if I get any like out of the ordinary ping, I'm like, what the heck, guys? Like, I don't want to keep getting this. I can't imagine that. So I mean, yeah, obviously lots going on for you behind the scenes there. What challenges do you face with like being a mod for Redbird Esports? I can't imagine it's all smooth sailing every day.
I mean, most of us know, like with online communities and stuff like that, people are a lot braver with what they say. Don't care as much as like how it affects people and that stuff. So, I mean, most of it is just like laying like ground rules. Like this is a private server, so they can't just go around doing and saying what they want. And with on the Discord, you can see your first and last name. So that's like also a thing we do to like try to cut down on this, because if people know your name, like you're not going to be as vocal and
Yeah, confidence kind of
disrespectful
goes down.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. As behind just an in-game name from talking to someone across the world or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, you definitely have Karens on and off of the internet, regardless.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, so basically, I work for you basically, since
Yeah.
I work under Sam essentially as basically the second mod. Is what I feel like. Because before we had the bot, I was doing probably 90% of the verification, so that was fun.
Yeah, and when you verify, does that just mean like you have to check with like a student ID to get them in, or?
So the old way is we would DM them and ask them for like their name, first name, last name, their username or what they go by, and then their email. And we'd have to send them like a special code through their email to where they have to then repeat it to us. So that was like, and then we had to go put it on a different document and like chart all this stuff down. Well, with the bot now, you just give it your email and it sends you a code, and then you just give that to the mod. They like give you they change your name, give you one more role, and then you type the code into a channel and you're good to go.
And then from there, it's just kind of role selection yourself.
Yep.
Which is such a cool feature. Like, I feel like even like last year before that, I feel like I didn't see any of that kind of stuff in Discord servers. And now there's like all kinds of bots that you could just obviously import and make your job 100 times easier.
Yeah, since we've been importing a bunch of new clubs into the server, it's super nice with giving the rules.
Right. I always like to thank the patchbot and every other server that I'm in. Every time patchbot rolls out one of its articles, I always put "thank you patchbot" with a little heart. I think it's nice. I like to appreciate what the bots are doing for us. They're not going to
Working
murk.
hard.
When they take over the world, I'm not going to be the first one gone. I'm going to say that guy thanked us.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to give a huge shout out to Nick Flamini. Oh, huge help. He designed the Regibot, which is what we use, and
Oh wow, that's
it's
awesome.
it's amazing. Yeah.
Thanks, Nick. Yeah, because one of the other things I was gonna say too is like role selection. I feel like like when you're with your friends, you don't really have that because it's like your friend servers don't need that. Where like dedicated servers like these, you start getting that now. So it's nice that I don't have to like see Fortnite stuff. Not that I hate Fortnite, I just don't play it anymore. So
Right.
like I don't see CS:GO stuff or Siege. I leave up because I like seeing what you guys are doing and everything like that. But like most of my stuff is just like League, and then I'll see the League patch, but I'm just like, oh, you posted like 20 things today. Thanks,
Yeah.
League bot. Love you.
I saw today that patchbot for Rainbow Six in the update that they vote to kick removal is now no longer there, meaning that it used to be in quick match and siege. If somebody joined your game mid game and you're playing with your friends, you could just say, "Nah, let's get this guy out of here," and immediately vote to kick him.
Oh wow!
Like you used to be able to do that. Like there was no restriction, and it's kind of a sad day for all the memers out there in quick match.
Oh,
So like, because before, would it be like if someone was like just AFK in the game, like couldn't you just kick them that way ahead of time? Essentially, I'm assuming that's what it originally was intended for, right?
Yeah, and I'm sure it was like if somebody's being really toxic and like four of you are not vibing with this last guy, then you could just be like, all right, let's get him out of here. But like I have never seen it used for that reason. I've seen it used for, okay, this guy just joined. I don't like this guy. Let's get him out of here. It also depends like if there's a microphone involved. If they have a mic, they can stay. If not, see ya. But
unless the mic's is like like that good old Xbox 360 mic of just like you just hear all the background noises and everything.
If they're talking through like a Progresso can, they're getting out of there.
Yeah, no, definitely no. I don't want to deal with that. I'd be like, vote to kick immediately, or vote to set off the ship like as we're playing Among Us.
Emergency meeting. So, yep. Sam, obviously you've got a lot to do with being a mod, but what are your favorite games personally?
Well, I like the good old League of Legends. I'm the vice president of Redbird League of Legends, and I also take place on one of the teams, so that keeps me pretty busy as well.
Yeah, I can imagine so. It's a lot of time dedicated to Redbird Esports right there.
Yeah. I think I dedicate more time to Redbird Esports than I do to ISU schoolwork.
ISU education. I mean, I actually can't blame you this semester just being all online and just, we talked about this a little bit even before the podcast where we were just saying we're just turning in assignments, It's a interesting semester, so I can't blame you. I've put in a lot of hours in Siege so far this semester.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad for you guys that you guys have to do online learning. That's just like, I think it's okay. Like if it's just like one of your classes, kind of a thing.
Right.
But if it's like all your classes are like that, and then it's like, okay, now what if you had to disconnect of like, oh, like the teacher's not coming in clearly because they're having connection issues, or you have connection issues because Zoom decides to not work, or Skype or whatever the case is, essentially.
And like obviously not all professors are like this, but some of these professors are dinosaurs, man. And like I had one today. And like we had this huge group chat for the class, and I said, "There's no Zoom link posted. Like, are we doing a Zoom today?" And somebody that was at the actual in-person class said that the professor had said he couldn't figure out Zoom, so those people doing it via Zoom were just going to have to find some way to catch up. And I was like, what? Like, this is your job, dude. See how the rest of the semester works out.
That's rough.
One thing I did realize with ISU being online is a lot of reoccurring members for clubs just aren't on campus, so they can't participate in like certain events,
Right.
which has I don't know, I think it has a pretty negative effect. I mean, league, we were lucky we got a big influx of freshmen this year, but I don't know what we would have done if we didn't get that huge group.
That's awesome. And I think after last week's podcast, I'll tell you, I really think going into like Redbird Esports, I really think I'd underestimated just how big our League of Legends program is. And so I think it's really cool to be able to brag, even though like I know nothing about League, but like if I know people are talking about League, I'm like, hey, well, I've got news for you.
Yeah, but it's really nice to. I mean, we got a good group of people that are always like interactive on the Discord, always down to play games. So
that's awesome.
It's nice.
Yeah. That's a great way to make those connections on campus here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, whether it's between TFT or actual League of Legends or Legends of Runeterra, they got so many games out. They got their Wild Rift that's on mobile. It's kind of nice to see that they have Valorant as well. As I almost forgot that. It's just one of those games that it's just kind of nice that Riot like has all this stuff, and then now we can basically play that, especially in our server. A lot of people do play Valorant and all those other games because it does remind them of CS:GO. So.
And I can really appreciate, Riot. I actually really had never played any Riot games until Valorant came out. And, I had heard about Riot and, obviously very mixed things, but overall very positive. And then, they started releasing some of these Valorant skins. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah,
that's where they get you, the skins.
And I've heard that the League skins are just like addicting and so expensive.
They are.
Dude, I've bought almost, I think, every pass this year for League for the events that they do, so I could just get more skins. Because they give you like in-game rewards to like get orbs, or you can do like there's like chromas now for like the base skins, so now you can like be like, oh, now I have this really willy color of. Just Meowkai, because I have every Meowkai skin. As I know Sam will know that. I know you won't, but I will send you an image of it, and you'll be like, "What the?"
It's so funny, dude. The skins, the skins are so creative. And if you ever play one champion a lot, you like have to get all the skins. And every time they release one, you're like, well, there goes $20.
Yeah, and it's like, well, do I really need phone insurance this month? Like, I might have a 0.4 KD, but I've got a really nice pink unicorn suit that I can wear while getting a 0.4 KD. So it's all that matters.
I go for the style rather than the skill.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I was going to actually ask you, you obviously said that you play on the teams here. Is that like something that you're really interested in, is like playing League competitively?
I don't think I'm ever going to be on the degree to where like our varsity program is, but on the club teams, it's nice to like have a competitive environment for those like lower levels. I think we have one from like diamond players all the way down to like I think our silver. So
silver, gold, yeah.
Yeah, we really just go with interest, I think. So as long as people are willing to play like competitively, we try to give them a way to do that.
Yeah, I think that's really cool to be able to give people this competitive atmosphere and a game that like they might not really ever be too competitive at, but it's cool to get that experience. And I felt that same way with going into Siege this semester. I was just like, I am not good at this game. I will probably not get good at this game, but I'm going to have fun. And like, it's been a lot of fun to play against other schools so far. So I really like that.
Yeah, it's a great way to meet like a bunch of people throughout the school too. Like I've had different teams, and I've always ended up liking my teammates, and it's always a fun time.
Since the last podcast, the Siege JV team actually did a little socially distanced get together. We ordered wings from B-Dubs and then walked across the street and had a little picnic on the quad.
Nice.
It was really nice to actually get to meet these people who I've been nonstop talking with. And we had actually won our game the night before, so we kind of just were talking about the game, and
nice.
It was a lot of fun. We had talked at the last podcast about how important it is to make connections and meet friends, and it was really cool to be able to see people, in person, especially after not really meeting anybody for the past year with
Yes.
COVID.
An interesting thing is I think all of our club teams have won so far.
Oh my gosh,
For the
really?
Like
league,
I was
yeah.
looking through the result channel. No, I think like Rainbow too. Like all the Rainbows teams won,
Yep.
or whoever posted in results. Like I think all of them have won so far, which
Yeah.
is just really cool.
Yeah, varsity nailed their game. We squeaked by, and then that's awesome that league's able to win. Puts a really good name out there for Redbird Esports for sure.
Yep.
Good start.
And I think
Yeah.
our varsity teams are getting up and started soon. I saw some tweets about it earlier this week.
Actually, I do have a question. So, since we talked about meeting people and different things, have you met more people like in person? Like I know you and Braden kind of just stay in your rooms essentially and different things, but like have you met people from the Discord now that you're like, okay, like now if I never met these people, like you're like lost without them, like kind of a thing, or like not lost without them, but like like the point that you never met them. Essentially.
I yearn to be with the boys.
I think a cool thing about our or about the league tryouts, or at least, well, last year we had them all in person, right? So you're able to like see the phase behind like the competition, and we'd always have like a little break in between, and everyone at tryouts would all get food together, and we'd sit and we'd just talk and chill, and that was just a cool atmosphere that we just couldn't have this year. So we're trying to influence like the teams to go out like socially distanced still, but like meet each other and get to know each other on like a more personal level than just being teammates.
Yeah, I think that having that connection is so important. I think that, yeah, I've obviously met a lot of friends online that I've not met in person. But already I could tell you the friendship between, the Siege team is pretty strong just from being able to go out and have that experience and actually like see what people look like, put a face to, and, a voice kind of. Because I was a little surprised. I was like, oh yeah, okay, all right, okay.
Yeah, and I've met like originally I wasn't like too big into like going for the board, but after last year and like meeting the guys who are now on the board, it's really cool and fun to do it with them.
But yeah, I know I have I'm looking at the exec board I hear on my other monitor with Discord roles. But yeah, I've talked to a few of these guys at this point, and I've had positive experiences with all of them. I don't think there's been one person like so far in Redbird Esports that has been like, I get off and I'm like, oh God, everybody's been super nice and everybody's just like super, understanding. Everybody kind of is here for the same purpose. It's a cool community. Obviously you're there to prevent the toxicity, but definitely one of the better servers that I'm in overall.
Yeah, I mean we've definitely had a few sour grapes, but it definitely doesn't. definitely not even close to the amount of great people in the server.
Right.
I will put it this way. It is not as much. I have not had to ban someone. Let's put it this way. The last esports I worked with, I banned probably over 100 people already with that server.
Wow.
And well, between two servers because we had to rebrand twice. So yeah, it was bad. So I'm glad we don't have too many bad grapes in our server.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
we talk about having first and last name in everybody's Discord, and that was so smart because in today's day and age, it is so easy to just sit behind a screen and say anything that you want and think that there's no consequences. And for that to be there and you guys to be able to crack down if something serious was to ever happen. But I do think that that's a huge preventative measure.
Yeah, and I think just the verification process in general tries to keep those people out because if you're going to go through all the work of getting into the server, you definitely don't want to just get banned instantly.
That is a lot of work just to get like
Yes.
banned. It's not like you just clicked a button.
Yeah, you didn't just join and then make another account. No, everything's hooked up to your email. You get banned, you're gone for good.
We appreciate them. All good things there.
Oh yeah, definitely. I will ask you one other thing. So, what is like your favorite thing that you've, I don't know, I guess enjoyed about having like working with Redbird Esports? You know, from the club level to either being a mod. What's your favorite thing that you've gained, I guess, out of this? Or what's
I'd
something
probably
you like that you've gained out of this? I guess is a better
I'd
word.
probably just say the experience. I've gotten to work with a lot of great people. I've pretty much worked with about everyone on the exec board. I've talked to them every Sunday. I've got to meet a bunch of great people as mods, and I've worked with a bunch of like clubs and their players independently. So it's just nice to just see all the people that are interested in like just video games in general. It's good to see like all the clubs growing and everyone wanting to be in the server. So it's great.
Definitely does feel like the server just grows, every time I even log on to my computer, it feels that way. I, involvement. Obviously, things are so weird right now with COVID and people not being on campus to hear even like through word of mouth, just like I'm in Redbird Esports, in the Discord. And, because usually when we're on campus, you could say that and somebody be like, wait, what? There's a Discord? It's definitely a lot harder now, but I think that we're doing a good job of counteracting that. And I'm obviously really proud to say that go here.
Yeah, a thing we found that was like really funny was we went to go put around flyers around like the dorms and stuff to try to get people to show up, and we were just surprised by the amount of just posters that they were already there, like made by their RAs that were like already aware of the server and stuff. And
Oh, that's awesome.
Putting it everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think RAs are some of the most underappreciated people out there.
Yes.
I'm going to say I luckily never had to live in the dorms just from transferring here, but I know that there's so many people that, yeah, and there's a lot of RAs that go above and beyond to cater to their floor.
Yeah. I mean, I had a great RA. I think the only bad experiences I've had while living in the dorm was the numerous fire alarms in the middle of the night. It's probably the only bad thing.
I have heard that. We've got two people on the JV team that live in dorms, one at Tri, one at Wadi, and both of them, we've been gaming with both, and they'll have to go out.
Yeah, it
doesn't
brutal.
sound fun. No.
Yeah, it's our weekly. I have to leave the dorm again. Not because I don't want to or anything, but because someone threw burnt popcorn down the chute again for the umpteenth time.
Someone just forgot to put water in their mac and cheese one time. Oh my! I was like, I had to get up at 5 a.m. for this.
Oh my god! It was. Wow. Yeah. No. I would be very upset. Very, very upset. I feel like every time one of these drills happens, or not even a drill, if something goes off, it's just some stupid reason why. Like I forgot to add water to the mac and cheese.
Yes.
Yeah, it's usually that the burnt popcorn. Like they'll like throw the bag down because they're just like, oh, I messed up. I gotta make another one, and I'm just like, are you serious? like there's like that, or they'll forget. Oh yeah, just I let something in the microwave and it got too hot, and then they open it and it's just it's all splattered over everywhere. The smoke's coming out of it, and just like, oh,
I will say
how to cook.
It's all worth it for the internet. Oh, it's so good. The internet on campus is the best internet I've ever had in my life.
I'll actually agree with that. When I lived at Cardinal Court, I was getting like 1,000 down and maybe 200 up, and I was okay, I'll take this any day of the week.
It's like this is as good as it gets for gaming right now.
Yeah, it was really good, and I know your guys' wireless is better, at least than when I went there, but it's not, it's wireless. It's not perfect, but, wired definitely is really good there. I think even when I lived in the apartments,
Yeah, Sammy's got, really good internet, and I was surprised by that.
Yeah,
the first day I got here, I was like, oh, nice.
Yeah, Young America definitely had – I lived with them both times, and, it was great. Loved the internet perfectly with them because it was just like, oh yeah, you're gonna have Comcast, it's gonna wire through this. I'm like, okay, and they're like, yeah, you're gonna get really good speeds. I'm like, no, it's not gonna be good as dorm speeds, and I'm just like, Oh,
Oh, oh.
oh, baby. I'm like, I'll enjoy this forever, and I'm like, oh, I have to leave. Damn it. I have to come back here where we do have fiber, but it's not access to my area, unfortunately, because I don't live downtown.
That is rough. That is
So-
rough. Yeah, I was surprised definitely about the internet situation here. It makes leaving the dorm seem, something that you don't really want to do.
Which perfect season for it. Gives you
Yeah.
an excuse.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to quarantine, you might as well play video games for 16 hours a day, right?
Right? I mean, hey, why not play and get paid too at the same time, right?
That's right. Yeah. If you love something, make a profit.
Exactly. But,
I mean,
is
that is
there-
all the questions I had for Sam.
I have one more, and then we'll be done.
All right.
Any new games you've picked up during COVID that you're like, I like when you're not playing League, this is definitely what you're playing.
I jumped on the bandwagon. I play Among Us way too much.
Ooh, that's a great time, though.
It is. We get like games like, I don't know, once or twice a week just from people being like, oh, I'll play, and then a bunch of people just join, and we get like full lobbies. It's pretty fun because it's just all across the clubs. Like we
Right.
play with people from Valorant, R6, CS:GO. It's just, and it always turns into a screaming match because someone's just way too good at lying, and it's a fun time. It's a great time for everyone.
I have had that like realization, especially like we play a lot with the team just whenever we want to and we're not practicing. And I'm like, man, some of you guys are really good at lying, like concerningly good at lying. What else are you guys not telling us?
It really checks who you trust at the moment.
Absolutely. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, it checks who you trust, and do you actually now trust them in real life when you actually meet them?
Yeah. Like I remember that time he stabbed me in the back in med bay.
Hey, it can't be me. I was doing electrical.
Yeah, no, I was in navigation. It wasn't me.
Hey, man, it wasn't me that was just covering up the body, that I just killed right now or anything.
I have noticed that, like, with the release of Fall Guys and the release of Among Us, like, community memes are at an all-time high. Like, everybody knows, like, Red is sus off the bat. Everybody knows that Red is so sus. And that's just, like, it was like when Fall Guys came out and everybody's just like, yellow's gotta go. It was so quick.
Yeah, they're great games because it also just appeals to like every genre of gaming.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like you could play shooters, you could play just MOBAs, you could do RPGs. It doesn't matter. It's just a fun party game that you play with your friends and just screw around the entire time.
I work in the Bone, and I walked past Tech Zone on the way to my shift, and they had like 4 monitors linked up as one, playing Fall Guys. All the staff was just sitting there. It had to have been like a 3 p.m. on like a Friday, and I was like, "Oh my god! Like what? I'm so jealous."
I would definitely be jealous of that because it's like stuff like that even wasn't like I guess like a thing we would see back when I went to school there. Just because it's like gaming happened, but it wasn't like, oh my god, like we're gonna give up going out drinking for a weekend to game or anything like that. Like kind of a thing. Like it's definitely like like we're always definitely like the social floors, but like we're also just like we're playing League all weekend. Like or like we're gonna play Halo all weekend just because back then that was Halo 3 was like I think college.
Man.
Yeah, Halo 3, Halo 4 was then. So
I guess hear me out. Like, why go out drinking with the boys when you could drink with the boys inside and get to play video games?
Yeah, I think that's one good thing about COVID. It's just like, that doesn't affect me. I'm just gonna hop on Discord and just play with all the guys, anyways.
exactly.
Are you sad to not be able to go out? Like, no, I got the boys right here. What are you talking about?
Do you see my double monitor and my light up keyboard? Yeah, I'm good to go.
I keep seeing these memes where it's like, ladies, if you walk into his apartment and he's got a light up keyboard and more than one monitor, leave.
Exactly. I was about to say that.
I don't think I've met a single person who doesn't have a light up keyboard from the club. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah,
I don't think I've met a
I'll agree.
single one.
No, I think it's at this point it's the standard. You're out of line if you're not using anything light up.
If you don't have a light up computer, I'm sorry, you're in the
man.
Stone Age.
Rip me, I don't have a light up computer.
It's like cosmetics. It's like skins in the games. If you don't have it, you're not playing the game right.
It's all for the clout.
Yeah, you're gonna be
Gameplay
better at the
doesn't
game
matter.
if you have the lights.
I was gonna say it's all for my interchangeable clout that I can do with my computer.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I mean, if you were out of questions, Gig, I have got nothing else.
Yeah, I am good, Max. I have no more questions. So,
Sam, I hope you had a good time coming on here and talking today.
Oh,
I
I
appreciate everything that you're doing for Redbird Esports right now.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks for having me again.
Until next time, this is the Bird Herd Podcast. I'm Saxy Maxi, i.e. Max Martin, joined with my other host, Gigatron, and we will see you next week.
we'll see you next week, guys.